China's newest aircraft carrier, the Fujian, is one step closer to completion. The Fujian will be China's third carrier and the first the country has designed.
China is determined to challenge America's dominance at sea. The country's rapid expansion of its carrier fleet poses a significant threat to the U.S., and the implications are far-reaching. Not only does China's naval expansion challenge U.S. naval superiority, but it also raises concerns among other countries in the region. Now, with the recent revelation of the latest Chinese aircraft carrier, the U.S. Navy is responding with drastic measures. How does the Chinese carrier threaten the U.S. dominance? Join us as delve into the emergency call U.S. Navy, China revealing its largest aircraft carrier. History of China's aircraft carrier ownership. China and the United Kingdom were neck and neck in terms of the number of launched aircraft carriers until June 17, 2022. But then, China took a giant leap forward by launching the Type 003 Fujian, which is now the world's largest conventionally powered aircraft carrier and the third in China's fleet. Before the Fujian, China had the Type 001 Liaoning, a 61,000-ton vessel purchased from Ukraine after the Soviet Union dissolved. China's Liaoning aircraft carrier is often touted as the least powerful carrier in terms of its propulsion system. While some foreign media have criticized its performance, claiming it takes an extensive 2 days for the Liaoning to start up, the reality is a bit more nuanced. Indeed, the startup process of the Liaoning, from ignition to reaching maximum speed, does require around 48 hours, primarily due to the time needed for steam generation. However, it's essential to understand that this duration is not solely for the carrier to commence sailing. In truth, the Liaoning can transition from a stationary position to sailing in less than 10 hours under the same conditions. Comparatively, even conventional-powered Nimitz-class carriers of the United States require a minimum of 4 hours to start up. This highlights the significant power requirements of aircraft carriers, which primarily rely on either nuclear or conventional propulsion systems. China's decision to opt for a steam-powered carrier like the Liaoning stemmed from its limited technological capabilities in carrier construction at the time. Building and operating an aircraft carrier from scratch posed significant challenges for China, and steam propulsion was a feasible option. In terms of combat capability, the Liaoning ranked as the third most powerful aircraft carrier globally, surpassed only by the American carriers Nimitz and Ford. When comparing it to other carriers like the French Charles de Gaulle and the British HMS Queen Elizabeth, the Liaoning holds its ground. The Charles de Gaulle, equipped with a nuclear propulsion system, poses a formidable challenge to the Liaoning, but the Liaoning's diverse air wing, including the J-15 fighters and various helicopters, enhances its combat capabilities. While the HMS Queen Elizabeth is large, its reliance on vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, fighters limits its combat role to strategic strikes. The J-15 fighters on the Liaoning offer superior range, air-to-air capabilities, and weapon payloads compared to the Rafale fighters on the Charles de Gaulle. Additionally, the Liaoning's ability to carry 4 shipborne AEW helicopters extends its patrol and detection capabilities, providing an advantage over carriers like the Charles de Gaulle with limited AEW aircraft capacity. But what is the typical composition of an aircraft carrier battle group, CVBG, and how does it compare to the combat capabilities of the Liaoning carrier battle group, CBG? An aircraft carrier battle group is a formidable naval formation centered around an aircraft carrier and accompanied by escort vessels and support ships. It's one of the most powerful naval formations in terms of strike capabilities. Usually, it includes one aircraft carrier, along with several cruisers, destroyers, anti-submarine vessels, and replenishment ships. This formation can be adjusted based on the mission's nature and intensity. Now, when it comes to carrier-based aircraft and nuclear-powered carriers, a carrier can typically carry a significant number of aircraft, depending on its size. A task force formed by multiple carriers can include a staggering number of air superiority fighters, attack aircraft, electronic warfare aircraft, and AEW aircraft. The scale of these operations is indeed impressive. Moving on to the combat capabilities of the Liaoning Carrier Battle Group, recent long-range training exercises have showcased its effectiveness as an independent maritime combat force. These exercises involved simulated confrontations with other naval and air forces, focusing on enhancing coordination, unit cohesion, and command effectiveness. The Liaoning CBG has undergone comprehensive training in reconnaissance, electronic warfare, air and naval operations, operations, land strikes, and anti-submarine warfare, covering various combat scenarios. The high-intensity and realistic nature of these training exercises have significantly improved the overall combat capabilities of the Liaoning CBG. This commitment to training as if in actual combat reflects China's determination to build a world-class navy. The consecutive long-range confrontation training conducted by the Liaoning CBG immediately following participation in naval parades underscores China's focus on combat readiness. China's development of carrier battle groups has progressed steadily, building upon the foundation laid by the Liaoning carrier. With each step, from technical training to tactical and overall battle group campaign training, the operational readiness of China's carrier battle groups continues to improve rapidly. The first Chinese-built carrier. Following China's creation of the Liaoning was the Type 002 Shandong, a domestically built 70,000-ton aircraft carrier. A video released by China Central Television showcased the combat readiness of the second Chinese aircraft carrier, Shandong. Following in the footsteps of its predecessor, the Liaoning, Shandong was gearing up for deployment to the high seas. Described as the first aircraft carrier independently designed and built by China, Shandong's construction commenced in November 2013. With more than 10,000 parts and 10,000 sets of equipment, its construction rivaled that of 20 ultra-large oil tankers. Initially designated as Type 001A during development, it was later finalized as Type 002 at commissioning. Constructed by the Dalian shipbuilding industry in Liaoning province, Shandong's keel was laid down in March 2015, marking a significant milestone in its construction. Satellite imagery from the defense analysis industry revealed Shandong's early stages of hull assembly in March 2015. The hull with military characteristics at the Dalian shipyard surfaced on the internet the following month. In October 2015, the construction of a hangar deck signaled the vessel's role as an aircraft carrier. By September 2016, the ship's island superstructure, including the bridge and main mast, was installed, followed by the installation of the aft half containing the funnel and air intakes. After undergoing sea trials that commenced in May 2018, Shandong underwent rigorous testing, including flight tests of various aircraft such as the Shenyang J-15 fighter jet, Changhe Z-18 transport aircraft, and Harbin Z-9 utility helicopter. The electronic warfare EW version of the J-15, known as the J-15D, was also spotted during these tests. These trials, lasting about 19 months, culminated in the commissioning of Shandong, solidifying its role as a vital component of China's naval capabilities. The Shandong carrier, officially named and commissioned on December 17, 2019, at Sanya, Hainan, marks a significant milestone in China's naval capabilities. Central Military Commission Chairman Xi Jinping presided over the commissioning ceremony. Interestingly, Shandong achieved Initial Operational Capability, IOC, in October 2020, a milestone that its predecessor, the Liaoning, took 6 years to reach after commissioning in 2018. Heading the Shandong was Senior Captain Lai Yijun, who brought extensive experience from commanding the planned frigate Liaoning. Shandong's design is predominantly based on China's first carrier, Liaoning, originally constructed from the incomplete hull of the Soviet Kuznetsov-class aircraft carrier Varyag. Featuring a ski-jump takeoff, Shandong accommodates helicopters and Shenyang J-15 fighter jets. Powered by conventional oil-fired boilers, it measures approximately 315 meters long, with a displacement ranging from 55,000 to 70,000 tons when loaded. Shandong represents a significant upgrade over Liaoning. Notable improvements include a ski jump with a 12-degree angle, providing optimal launching conditions for the J-15 fighter. Additionally, enhancements such as an enlarged hangar, a smaller island, and extended sponsons have increased the carrier's capacity by accommodating up to 8 more aircraft and helicopters. Internally, Shandong can handle up to 36 fighter jets, marking a notable increase compared to Liaoning. For context, a U.S. Navy carrier air wing comprises 44 F/A-18E/F Super Hornet strike fighters and 5 EA-18G Growler electronic attack fighters, alongside up to 19 helicopters. India's aircraft carrier INS Vikramaditya can host a maximum of 36 aircraft, including MiG-29K multi-role fighters and various helicopters. The carrier's island features a second glazed deck, enhancing operational efficiency by separating the bridge and flight control areas. Additionally, it boasts 4 active electronically scanned arrays, AESAs, for the improved Type 346A S-band radar. Shandong's aircraft configuration includes a diverse range of assets, such as J-15 fighters, J-15D EW fighters, Z-18F ASW helicopters, Z-18Y AEW and C helicopters, Z-18A VIP transport helicopters, Z-8JH medical helicopters, and Z-9S rescue helicopters. Notably, the Z-18F, dubbed the Sea Eagle, serves as a specialized anti-submarine and anti-ship helicopter equipped with advanced sensors and weaponry. The Shenyang J-15, known as the Flying Shark, is a carrier-based fighter aircraft developed for the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy. Despite its capabilities, the J-15 has faced challenges, with one fighter jet crashing due to flight control system issues during simulated carrier landings in 2016. Shandong, like its predecessor, utilizes the short takeoff but arrested recovery, STOBAR, launch and recovery system. However, the latest Chinese carrier, the Type 003 aircraft carrier, was planned to incorporate an electromagnetic aircraft launch system, EMALS, enabling the launch of heavier and more advanced aircraft. How the Chinese Fujian carrier came into fruition. The latest Chinese carrier creation, the Fujian, represents a cutting-edge catabar carrier design utilizing catapult-assisted takeoff barrier-arrested recovery technology. It's a remarkable advancement, as this technology has only recently been adopted by the U.S. Navy. Before launching the carrier, the initial phase, known as mooring trials, was carried out. It is crucial and typically conducted while the ship is docked in the shipyard's wet basin. These trials primarily assess the ship's propulsion system's functionality, alongside verifying hull construction quality and the reliability of various onboard equipment. During the mooring trials, temporary facilities are set up dockside, with extensive piping and cabling connecting onshore utilities to the ship. The successful testing of Fujian's steam turbines and power systems is a significant milestone, achieved by piping steam from an onshore boiler to the ship's turbines via a specialized delivery system. Completion of these trials, indicated by the removal of onshore equipment, signifies readiness for subsequent sea trials. An important development is the installation of the ship's main mast, housing the primary air search radar, a state-of-the-art AESA in the S-band. This radar, comprising 4 panels on the island, enhances the carrier's surveillance capabilities. Notably, the reduction in the island's size across successive Chinese carriers, from Liaoning to Shandong and now to the Type 003, is remarkable. A smaller island allows for more aircraft to be accommodated on the deck, facilitating flight operations. The carrier even had to be relocated due to dredging work in its original spot. Dredging involves removing sediment from the water's bottom to deepen the basin, crucial for accommodating vessels with larger loads. While cargo ships don't benefit from this, carriers like Fujian do, especially before sea trials when they carry additional weight like fuel and machinery. Deepening the basin ensures Fujian's safety during low tides. Adjacent to Fujian, a PLA Navy barrack ship likely houses personnel for the upcoming sea trials. With these preparations, it's evident that Fujian's sea trials are imminent, possibly in July or August. On Fujian's flight deck, the gray sheds covering the aircraft catapults indicate the ongoing installation of electromagnetic catapults. These catapults offer several advantages over steam ones, launching heavier and lighter aircraft with less strain on airframes and easier maintenance. By adopting this technology, China leapfrogs a generation, rivaling the U.S. Navy. Since its launch, the Fujian has been undergoing various tests and rituals to prepare it for commissioning into service. Recent footage from China shows the carrier undergoing mooring tests to assess its main propulsion machinery while docked. Additionally, the carrier has been spotted testing its cutting-edge electromagnetic catapults for launching jet fighters. Currently, the Fujian is in the final stages of outfitting before sea trials begin. The carrier boasts 4 weapons elevators, streamlining ordnance transport vertically to improve efficiency and aircraft movement. Similar to the U.S. Navy's Ford-class carriers, these elevators enhance survivability and operational effectiveness. As the flight deck takes shape, critical components like landing arrestor gears, aircraft catapults, and flight deck markings are installed, with defensive weapons like CIWS placed on sponsons. These elements, except for the catapults, are typically added later in the fitting-out process, aligning with flight operations readiness. Indeed, much of the work on the Fujian aircraft carrier has been internal, making it hard to see the progress from the outside. However, researchers in China have been busy studying how to optimize the use of the carrier's flight deck. They've published papers on various aspects of carrier flight operations, from handling aircraft and UAVs to managing ammunition and maintenance. These studies delve into complex mathematical models and algorithms aimed at achieving optimal flight operations, with a focus on automating key processes. For instance, Huazhong University of Science and Technology alone has dedicated 20 postgraduate students to such research. One paper abstract highlights the challenge of task planning for carrier-based aircraft dispatching and recovery operations. It emphasizes the importance of automated planning methods, especially as unmanned aerial vehicles become more prevalent on carriers. Unlike U.S. Navy carriers, Chinese carriers operate in a cyclical manner, launching and recovering aircraft in separate phases. Speculation on the Fujian's flight deck operations suggests a setup similar to that of the Gerald R. Ford-class carriers, with fighters parked behind catapults during launch and cleared flight decks for safe landings during recovery. With major milestones like successful mooring trials and radar system installations completed, the Fujian is inching closer to sea trials. Once commissioned, likely by 2025, it will bolster China's growing carrier fleet, enhancing its power projection capabilities. This expansion isn't just about the carriers themselves. It involves a network of escort warships and support vessels, underscoring the comprehensive nature of a carrier task force. The timing of Fujian's entry into service is significant, given the ongoing conflicts around the world, particularly in Ukraine and the Middle East. The presence of American aircraft carriers in the Middle East, including the USS Gerald Ford, underscores the strategic importance of naval power in modern conflicts. Exploring the remarkable capabilities of the Fujian. The Chinese Type 003 Fujian supercarrier has been found to boast impressive specifications. With a flight deck spanning 316 meters and a beam of 76 meters, it is set to be a formidable addition to China's naval fleet. Powered by 8 boiler steam turbines generating around 220,000 horsepower across its 4 shafts, the Fujian is expected to leverage electromagnetic catapults, a significant advancement from the ski jump configuration seen in its predecessors. Anticipated to have a displacement of about 80,000 tons under full combat load, recent intelligence suggests it could potentially displace closer to 100,000 tons. Manned by approximately 2,000 sailors and 60 flag staff officers, the Fujian's endurance remains undisclosed, but it is expected to mirror the Type 002 carrier Shandong's impressive range of over 25,900 kilometers, or about 16,000 miles at 14 knots. Construction of the Fujian commenced in the 2010s, with a brief pause as the development of the electromagnetic catapult system progressed. Resuming in the late 2010s, the ship's modules entered dry dock around mid-2020, with reports suggesting a possible launch by mid-2022. These reports were confirmed when the Fujian was indeed launched on June 17, 2022, with hull number 18. The Electromagnetic Catapult Aircraft Launch System, EMALS, represents a technological leap for China, spearheaded by Rear Admiral Ma Weiming. This system offers advantages over traditional steam piston catapults, including reduced stress on airframes, lightweight construction, easier maintenance, and faster reset times. Expected to deploy a modified J-15 fighter variant as its primary fighter wing until a dedicated 5th-generation fighter is developed for carrier-based operations, the Fujian is equipped to handle advanced aircraft. Intelligence suggests the People's Liberation Army has developed the J-15B variant, featuring catabar capabilities, upgraded avionics, engines, and missile launching capabilities. The J-15 is a formidable aircraft, capable of carrying various ordnance, including cannons, air-to-air missiles, anti-ship missiles, standoff land attack missiles, anti-radiation missiles, and more. Additionally, it can utilize buddy refueling pods and is complemented by prop-powered transport aircraft and the KJ-600 AEW and C aircraft, specifically designed to leverage Fujian's advanced catapult system for enhanced operations, reducing reliance on helicopters for certain missions. The KJ-600, China's counterpart to the American E-2 Hawkeye, represents a significant advancement in the country's naval aviation capabilities. This high-wing turboprop aircraft, with its large overhead radome suspected to house an AESA radar system, made its maiden flight in August 2020, with flight testing continuing into 2021. Featuring a crew of 3 to 5 airmen, the KJ-600 spans 18.14 meters in length and boasts a wingspan of 25 meters. Its quad-fin tailplane configuration enhances stability. Powered by two Zhuzhou Wojiang 6C turboprop engines, each producing 5,103 horsepower, the KJ-600 can achieve a maximum gross weight of 30,481 kilograms. With a range of 1,250 kilometers and a ferry range of 2,800 kilometers, the KJ-600 reaches a maximum speed of 693 kilometers per hour and a service ceiling of 15,000 meters. The air wing accompanying the KJ-600 may include unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and helicopters, with an anticipated complement of approximately 1,000 airmen. Defensive capabilities are expected to include three 30mm close-in weapon systems, CIWs, outfitted with AESA radar, capable of intercepting anti-ship missiles with high accuracy. The carrier, although launched, is not expected to be combat-ready until later 2024 or 2025, but it represents a significant advancement for China's Navy. However, challenges remain for China's carrier operations. Unlike the United States, China lacks extensive experience in carrier operations, anti-submarine warfare, and anti-ship missile detection and engagement. The KJ-600, while under development, is not yet fully operational, and the carrier's conventional propulsion systems require cruising with a fuel tanker for sustained operations, presenting vulnerabilities. As a result, the Fujian may be limited to show-of-force operations in regional waters, and may lack the capability for sustained combat operations in distant waters away from mainland resources, limiting its role as a blue water Navy flagship. The USS Ford-class carrier, the technology China copied. In contrast, the United States Gerald R. Ford-class supercarriers represent the pinnacle of naval aviation technology. With a larger flight deck, nuclear propulsion systems providing unlimited range, and advanced catapult and arresting gear systems, these carriers ensure superior combat capability. The first ship of the class, USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN-78, launched in 2013, replaced the USS Enterprise, CVN-65. Featuring a complement of 508 officers and 3,789 enlisted men, CVN-78's air wing includes Super Hornet squadrons, an E-2 Hawkeye squadron, and MH-60 helicopter squadrons, among others. The F-18 Super Hornet, a supersonic twin-engine multi-role fighter, is a formidable aircraft in the U.S. Navy's arsenal. Classified as a fourth-generation fighter, it shares the same league as the J-15B. With a crew of 1 or 2 depending on the variant and mission, the Super Hornet measures 18.31 meters in length and boasts a wingspan of 13.62 meters. Powered by two General Electric F414-400 afterburning turbofan engines, each capable of producing 22,000 pounds of thrust with afterburners lit, the Super Hornet can reach a maximum speed of 1.6 Mach. Armed to the teeth, it carries various missiles, including AIM-7 Sparrow, AIM-9 Sidewinder, AIM-120 AMRAAM, and AIM-260 JTM missiles, among others. In terms of avionics, the Super Hornet is equipped with advanced radar systems like the Hughes APG-73 or the Raytheon APG-79, as well as self-protection jamming systems and radar warning receivers. On the other hand, the E-2 Hawkeye serves as the U.S. Navy's aircraft for AEW&C, airborne early warning and control, operations, and anti-submarine operations. With its high-wing, quad-tail, and turboprop-powered design, it bears a resemblance to the KJ-600. First introduced in 1960, the E-2 Hawkeye has undergone numerous modifications over the years to adapt to evolving battlefield needs. The Hawkeye, particularly the current E-2D model, boasts aerial refueling capability and has a 6-hour operational endurance time at sea. Additionally, the C-2 Greyhound variant serves as a transport aircraft for carrier onboard delivery (COD) operations. CVN-78, the U.S. Navy's latest supercarrier, is equipped with a robust defensive weapons suite, including guided missile systems, phalanx CIWs, close-in weapon systems, and machine gun systems. It employs advanced radar systems and the Ship Self-Defense System, SSDS, to automate the fire control loop, enhancing response time to threats. Furthermore, CVN-78 features stealth features to reduce radar cross-section and optimizes aircraft launch and recovery efficiency by placing the island aft on the carrier, freeing up more space on the flight deck. With over 100 years of carrier operations experience since the launch of the USS Langley in 1922, the United States Navy has mastered the complex operations required for carrier-based aircraft, setting a high standard for naval aviation worldwide. While the Fujian marks a significant advancement for China's Navy, it still has ground to cover to match the United States' extensive carrier capabilities and experience. How the Fujian compares with the USS Gerald Ford. The CVN-78, also called the USS Gerald Ford, is currently the world's largest aircraft carrier. It was deployed to the Middle East during the Israel-Hamas conflict. However, it has since been called back to its home port in Norfolk, Virginia, indicating that its mission in the region may have been accomplished. Nevertheless, its potential redeployment highlights the continued relevance of aircraft carriers in maintaining global security. As the Fujian and the USS Gerald Ford prepare to dominate the seas, we continue to wonder if China's Fujian will eventually outmatch America's Gerald Ford in this battle of the best. It's a showdown that could determine which nation holds the title of the most powerful naval force in the world. On one side, there is the Chinese Type 003 Fujian, and on the other, the American USS Ford. Let's delve into different categories to see what capabilities these massive machines bring into the ring. Starting with propulsion, the Fujian is powered by a conventional system, which means it consumes heavy amounts of fuel to operate all systems on board. Details about the exact engines on the Fujian are scarce due to its novelty, but it's safe to say that it may not match up favorably to the USS Gerald Ford's nuclear propulsion system. The USS Ford boasts two cutting-edge Beckel A-1B nuclear reactors, enabling it to run efficiently for up to 25 years without refueling. With a top speed of 30 knots, the USS Ford can theoretically access any country on the planet, making it highly versatile. Moving on to AI and automation, the Fujian faces off against the USS Ford, which boasts the most advanced AI and automation setup in carrier history. While specifics about the Fujian's systems remain undisclosed, it's unlikely to surpass the capabilities of the USS Ford, which builds upon the successes of its predecessors. Packed with various forms of artificial intelligence, including automated systems and unmanned vehicles, the USS Ford is easier to operate than previous carriers. Despite having a crew complement of 4,500, smaller than that of a similarly sized Nimitz-class carrier, the USS Ford offers more internal space for systems, weapons, and amenities, ultimately improving the quality of life for its crew. In terms of sensors and processing systems, both carriers are equipped with state-of-the-art technology. The Fujian boasts an integrated power system, a significant upgrade over previous Chinese carriers, allowing for more efficient power distribution. Its sensors include a cutting-edge active electronically scanned array, AESA, radar system, enabling superior detection and tracking of multiple targets simultaneously. Supported by 4 S-band Dragon Eye Type 346 radars and 4 smaller X-band ESA radar panels, Fujian's sensor suite enhances its situational awareness and combat capabilities. However, unlike most other carriers worldwide, the Ford features a single system for both horizon and volume search, the AY-3 multifunction radar. This cutting-edge radar system, equipped with active electronically scanned array technology, is fed by highly sensitive sensors, enabling it to handle surveillance, air traffic control, missile communication, and target spotting from miles away. Moving on to the air wing, the Fujian is expected to field a formidable array of aircraft. The mainstay of its air wing is anticipated to be the navalized version of the Shenyang FC-31, known as the J-35. This fifth-generation fighter is designed to rival America's F-35 Lightning II. Additionally, the Fujian may host aircraft like the Shan KJ-600 for surveillance roles. However, the exact composition of the air wing remains undisclosed. In contrast, the USS Ford, being 20% larger than the Fujian, can host up to 75 aircraft at a time, including the F-35 Lightning II, E-2D Hawkeye, FA-18 Hornet, and more. Continuing to weaponry, The Fujian is armed with a variety of offensive and defensive systems, although specifics remain undisclosed. As for the USS Ford, it is equipped with a formidable arsenal, including advanced missiles, close-in weapon systems, and electronic warfare capabilities. Additionally, the USS Ford's aircraft complement, including fighter jets and helicopters, adds to its offensive capabilities, allowing it to project power across vast distances. Next, let's consider operational capabilities. Both carriers are capable of conducting a wide range of missions, from power projection to humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. However, the USS Ford's nuclear propulsion system grants it greater endurance and operational flexibility, allowing it to remain on station for extended periods without refueling. Furthermore, the USS Ford's advanced AI and automation systems streamline operations, reducing the workload on its crew and enhancing overall efficiency. Lastly, launch and arrest systems. The Fujian joins a select group of nations, including France and the US, in wielding electromagnetic launch systems. This system represents a significant leap over steam-powered launch systems and ski ramps found on previous Chinese carriers. With 3 electromagnetic launch systems, the Fujian can catapult a wide range of manned and unmanned aircraft efficiently. The USS Ford, with 4 such systems, offers similar capabilities. Both carriers also feature arresting gear to safely stop incoming aircraft. While the USS Ford benefits from the US Navy's extensive experience in carrier technology, the Fujian marks China's advancements in carrier development. As these two nations continue to invest in building new carriers, only time will reveal if the US can maintain its dominance or if China will close the gap. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.